Masturbation. Everybody does it. Don't lie to me and say you don't.
The best thing you could do is like just that little movement on the clitoris. Masturbation is normal and
so normal.
Everyone does it.
I used to be Mormon. The Mormon church is strictly anti-masturbation, which absolutely did not stop me from doing it. It just made me feel really bad when I did.
I'm continuing to struggle with what I've struggled with, which was pornography and masturbation. I enjoyed it when it was there, and afterwards I felt so guilt-ridden. I didn't like who I was. I didn't want to look in the mirror because I didn't want to see that, you know, this young girl that I was struggling with something that was so dark and so depraved.
Four minutes is the average time that it takes for a woman to reach climax. I mean, you could have an orgasm within a minute.
Women who masturbate usually take as much time as men when they masturbate.
That is, directly stimulating the penis is no faster than directly stimulating the clitoris. Also, when men and women are equally upset, such as when a loved one was just in an accident, then their libidos are equally repressed. Sadly, many women are too concerned with things like shame and body image to have healthy sex lives.
He point blank asked me, "Do you masturbate?" when I was 13 years old, you know? And I was mortified that he asked me that. You know, I just wanted to crawl under a rock and die. You know, and I turned away and I said yes. And I thought, I'm probably the only girl on the planet who does this, is what I thought, you know. You know, it would have been nice to know that I wasn't a total freak.
In conclusion, when ideally stimulated, men and women orgasm equally fast. Their libidos are also equally suppressed by equally strong disturbances, which, unfortunately, plague women more.
There are twice as many nerve endings in the clitoris as there are in the penis. There's not really much else I can say about that except for the clitori. They're great.
The clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings. You can't compete with that. Like, no one, your dick is not competing with my clitoris. Like, it's way better. It's double what you have.
In 2011, a large medical study even found what those ancient traditions had known for centuries. They found that a woman's breasts are closely connected to her pussy through nervous impulses, hormones. So this means when a woman's breast is being stimulated, the same area of her brain gets activated as during clit or vagina stimulation.
There's a vein system that feeds the clitoris, the system, that whole area of your body, with blood, and that's why women can have multiple orgasms, because you have the blood just constantly flowing. With men, it goes into the penis and then it gets caught there.
They shoot, and then they go
it.
boom, and that's that refractory period.
Sometimes when I masturbate, the first one, for some reason, the third or fourth with me, that's the biggie.
It's possible, I believe, for every woman to have orgasms and multiple orgasms. Sometimes I have 10 or 20. It's not uncommon for women to be able to have 4 or 5.
Thanks to a redundant chromosome, women have fewer of all types of disorders, from color blindness to mental retardation. So as expected, a higher percentage of women can reach orgasm. In conclusion, women have a more sensitive sex organ, in addition to more sensitivity throughout the body and the ability to achieve more frequent orgasms. And as a result of greater genetic redundancy, nearly 100% are orgasmic.
So the vibrator is amazing, but it does have a shadow side called vibrator addiction. Vibrator addiction is when you orgasm or experience so much pleasure so often with your vibrator. It can actually numb or desensitize your body so you experience less pleasure in general.
That is, just as an ice cube numbs all sensations, from hair plucking to a gentle touch, a vibrator numbs the clitoris to weaker sensations. In addition,
vibrators can create an orgasmic habit. And so every time you orgasm in a particular way, touching yourself a particular way, touching yourself in a particular place, you actually strengthen the neuronal pathways that create orgasm. So if you only ever orgasm with your vibrator, your brain gets very habituated to that style of orgasm.
In conclusion, virtually all clits are sensitive, and when properly stimulated, they quickly induce orgasm, assuming the owner has a healthy body and mind. Vibrators are great for effortless masturbation. However, they numb the clitoris, making natural stimulation less pleasurable.
So the solution to this is to do what I call the 50-50 split. 50% of the time you can use your vibrator, awesome. 50% of the time you want to make sure no vibrator.
Vaginal sensors have found that straight women are primarily aroused by women, as confirmed by porn data and testimonials.
Coming in at number 1 is lesbian porn. Lesbian porn, like there's a sensual nature to it that I can totally see appealing to women. All right, when it comes to what women actually search for before deciding on what to view, lesbian triumphed again.
What kind of porn do you guys watch? Because I can only masturbate to lesbian porn.
Hey girl, me too. I'm in the same boat. I don't know why, but straight sex, or like just seeing a guy that isn't my man just doesn't turn me on.
So my order of preference would be girl masturbating, because again, I put myself in that position.
I guess for those, because I watch this too, for those I think I do put myself in that position.
Yeah, so it's girls masturbating first, and then it's the straight sex, and then it's chick on chick. And I don't even notice the guy.
Sadly, just as most religions denounce masturbation, they also denounce attraction to the same sex, which is the leading source of arousal for straight women. And just as unaroused men playing with flaccid penises won't orgasm, nor will unaroused women playing with flaccid clitorises. In conclusion, porn data, testimonials, and vaginal sensors all confirm that straight women are primarily aroused by women, and since religion denounces same-sex attraction, women often repress what arouses them. So like unaroused men playing with their flaccid penises, their unaroused and flaccid clitorises provide very little pleasure.
I would be so scared of ever getting caught that I would masturbate in the closet. Like I would lock my door room, because if I hear them opening my bedroom door, then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta, I have time to prepare.
I never masturbated with people inside the house, like ever, because I was so scared.
Now I was really worried about getting caught. So I pleaded with the cosmos, and I was like, please, if I can get away with this, just let me out unscathed. I will not masturbate for an entire month.
I just remember being in sex education at school and all the boys being like, yeah, I wank, yeah, and being like, oh, can you have this subject? Yeah. This is so embarrassing. I literally like wanted to die.
Someone will bring up masturbation, and then some bitch will be like, who does that? Like, that's so gross. Girls shouldn't do that. That's just disgusting. That's so gross. That's like something that guys do. Ew. But no, you do it. Stop lying to make yourself feel better or look better in front of your friends. Everyone does it. And then as soon as someone in the group is like, actually I masturbate, then all the girls are like, oh, me too. Like, what?
Female friends from high school who later calmed down a little bit and were able to say, yeah, totally masturbated. When we were younger, we'd be like, no, that's gross. Nobody does that. Girls don't do that. Girls do that.
Do you watch it by yourself?
Yes.
And do you play with yourself when you watch it?
Let's just go with a no.
The studies have shown that women tend to feel more stigma and shame about self-pleasure.
Adjusting self-reported masturbation habits with this larger shame-induced lie factor reveals that there's no significant gender difference in both the rate and frequency of masturbation.
You know, everybody masturbates. Don't lie about it. You masturbate, I masturbate.
In conclusion, women are more terrified of being caught masturbating and more likely to lie about it. This additional shame roughly negates the higher self-reported rates of male masturbation.
Todo el mundo se masturba. Tú te masturbas, yo me masturbo, Scarlett se masturba.
Asexuals do not desire sex, but they do masturbate.
We found in our study that rates of masturbation for asexuals compared to heterosexuals in that first study were no different.
Do people who are asexual masturbate?
I don't think that the sexual community really differs in the reasons for masturbation any more than the asexuals do. So many of them described it as, quote, cleaning the plumbing. It's like an itch that needs to be scratched. It helps me get to sleep, etc., etc.
My name's Jo, I'm 22 and I'm asexual. It's just like scratching an itch sometimes, really. It's a thing that happens sometimes quite out of the blue, and I think, oh yeah, I could go for an orgasm right now. And then it's over, and then I get on with my life.
Do you still do it with yourself? Yes, I do. You get so much tension down there, you know where I'm talking, that you kind of need to clean the plumbing out every so often. Otherwise, you almost get a build-up, and it does not feel pleasant.
I just don't want to have sex or do anything remotely sexual. If I masturbate, that's completely because I have a problem and I want to take care of it so it goes away.
So the first question that I've gotten a lot, for most asexual, they get it all the time, is about masturbation. I have a sexual energy that's building up inside of me, and it's getting to the point where it's a bit too much. I need to get out of myself. I think it's only a very physical, biological reaction.
Since masturbating is a sexual activity, asexuals are very defensive about doing it.
But you said you masturbate, so you're not really asexual, you're self-sexual. Haha, gotcha.
If you touch yourself, then you're not asexual.
If you masturbate, you can't be asexual.
Well, you can't be asexual if you masturbate.
Sexuals report slightly higher rates of masturbation than asexuals. However, defensiveness makes us more prone to lying. In conclusion, even asexuals masturbate. Sex usually stimulates the clitoris less, and men don't have to worry about pregnancy or slut-shaming, so men have a greater desire for sex. However, healthy men and women have matching sex drives. Yes, men have more testosterone, but they require more. Which is why, on average, very horny women have less testosterone than unaroused men. In conclusion, sex favors the penis and doesn't get men pregnant or slut-shamed, hence their stronger desire for sex. But when healthy and with gender-appropriate hormone levels, the genders have matching sex drives. Note: menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause cause libido fluctuations. Men and women are almost identical. Hormones simply tell the male body to produce more muscle, skin thickening collagen, and so on, including a larger clitoris, which, despite its size, doesn't contain any more nerve endings. This is why healthy men and women reach all stages of arousal in the same amount of time, including orgasm. Some are misled by comparing different stages of arousal, or sex acts that stimulate women less, or by ignoring emotional disturbances, which, when equally strong, are just as destructive for men, or by ignoring the fact that women feel more shame about masturbating, hence are more likely to lie about it, and so on. In short, healthy men and women masturbate at approximately the same rate and frequency.
I started flicking the bean when I was very young. I don't put my fingers in.
You don't?
No, the clitoris is located outside the vagina.
I'd been masturbating since I was 11.
I went through masturbating at a very, very young age, and when I was talking to my friends about it, they also went through the same thing. And I was like, God, I don't want to be doing this anymore.
Hell, everybody masturbates, so I mean...
You masturbate.
Okay, I just started recently. I always thought it was so awful, so I never did it, and then I don't know, I just realized it's natural, so.
Okay, what about you?
Daily? Maybe every night.
What kind of porn?
Sometimes girl on girl.
Maybe about 3 times a day. Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, and in the afternoon, then before I go to bed.
Is this genuinely from you?
Are you kidding me? Come on. I did it at a movie theater once.
Cute.
It was in the van ride on the way here.
Have you ever caught her masturbating? When the twins were younger, they used to masturbate, lying on the floor. That was Alice. I mean, I did do it, but not in front of people. She
want to take it back old school and do the old school things I used to do, like masturbate with the Cabbage Patch doll. That part's true, but that's taking it way too far back.
I take mine. That's really. There's that little experience.
I was pleasuring myself and my parents caught me. All little kids do that. I haven't talked to one woman that hasn't had an experience like that. Those are the moments in time where we begin to cram shame and blame and guilt and this is bad, this is dirty, this is wrong, this is evil.
I was masturbating every day, several times a day. They were demons living inside of me, causing me to have to go, masturbate.
Being a female, it is definitely a much more taboo subject. And dude, I've been masturbating since I was in my crib.
Do you masturbate? Of course. Yes, I do, and so does everyone else in the world.
I have compiled a list of 50 alternatives to 50 Shades of Grey, and are also a lot healthier. Masturbate. Eat chocolate.
If you are somebody who knows me, and this is something that you might not want to watch, I was just really on board for getting myself off, and I told you this was going to be really TMI.
I learned a very valuable lesson. If you want perspective on if you actually like somebody, masturbate right before a date. Orgasms out of the way, your vagina being silenced.
I had been diagnosed with yeast infections. One of the things that helped me so much was learning about baking soda. And my last step, manual orgasm, give yourself an orgasm.
Does everybody on the couch, do you know how to make yourself orgasm? Now, I've been actively masturbating since I was probably 10. I learned pretty early too. I think I was 12 years old. Okay, masturbating, I did that early.
And they would go to sleep and they would be knocked out. And I would just watch porn. It was free. It was like a free for all. I would just sit and watch it. And that's it. Now I can make myself come.
I give myself toe curl.
You masturbate to yourself. That felt good to say. It feels really, really good. So you can have different orgasms. You can have the patient one, which is the best. You can have the fast one.
Witnessing yourself, pleasuring yourself. And it's not just about just the act, okay, you're gonna masturbate and just do it, whatever. For me, this is what really, really helped me to reconnect with my sensuality.
And for me, mirrors are kind of essential to my masturbating experience. So I'm trying to sit way over on the edge of the bed and get myself in front of the mirror.
Can you please do an Ask Lindsay video on Monday? What do you masturbate to? My sexy self.
Masturbation. What's great about masturbation is, well, everything. It's the best way that I've found to reinforce the idea of our own sexual autonomy.
Do you masturbate?
People of my age, yes. Of course I do.
Keeping the jokes aside.
Yeah, I do that, but still.
Do you masturbate?
Yeah, sure.
Do you masturbate?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you masturbate?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you masturbate?
Do I masturbate? I mean, who doesn't?
Everybody masturbates.
But think about masturbation, people don't see that as a sin.
Listen, don't take that from me. You already taking it. Women have the same struggles. We just hide it really, really good. Like I would find excuses to masturbate.
Same here.
I would masturbate all the time.
I would touch my vagina, and then my grandmother would go, "Sucia, puerca." Masturbation is not a sin.
My religion was sex shaming. If you masturbate, you're sinning. That self-pleasure is bad. It's not bad. It's awesome. So as I became sexual in my teens and I explored, of course, naturally I'm going to have shame. I'm going to have guilt.
I masturbate. There I said it.
Almost everybody does it. Second, absolutely no one wants to talk about it.
And trust me when I say, masturbation is completely normal. It's fun.
My mother always had this irritating habit of simply barging into my room unannounced. And suddenly one day, she started to knock. Apparently, she had walked into my room one day and saw me in the act.
It's only the boys who do it. Seriously? Bullshit.
I know when I was young, I was ashamed that I masturbated.
So, do you think most girls lie when they say they don't masturbate?
I think they completely lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Very few women I know have talked openly about masturbation. I've been exploring my sexuality, for the most part, without anyone else.
It's the same when you jack off too. For me, I can come 2 times, and then the third one will take forever.
Masturbate using just your fingers and just what you have is a really amazing way to understand the body. If you can't do any of these things, then you have no business having sex.
Better to masturbate. I think it's something that is very normal that we all do, but we choose not to talk about it.
I couldn't orgasm with a partner until I figured out how to do it on my own, so masturbation was really important.
Masturbating in front of your loved one is actually really fun.
In front of a guy, you feel like you've got to be kind of like sensual. Now he has a completely different idea of what I look like when I masturbate, when really I look like a troll.
I don't really need anything inside. Like,
no,
it's
I
all
don't.
outer action for me.
People are being more open about it.
Yeah,
I think
everyone
the
used to be a
time-
bit of a secret.
Don't be afraid or shy or embarrassed about masturbating. We all, or at least most of us, do it. Masturbation just feels good.
I love masturbating. Don't think it's weird, don't think it's nasty. She was like, yeah, I do it all the time. I do it every single night. Go down there and just... This? Doing this.
Or just like having a vibrator on there better.
Because it's like doing the work
Babe,
for you.
When I started, I masturbated a lot. I probably won't stop until I'm married. Won't need it anymore.
Have you had a G-spot orgasm? I think I've had it once with my husband. I've done it masturbating myself.
For someone like me where, orgasm is not really the point of sex, I'm capable of it, and I basically never orgasm with people.
So for me, my orgasms were really clearly stimulated by my own hand. I never had an actual orgasm with a partner.
Some people would say, well, why don't you just masturbate? Yes, I play with my clit.
The more I was trying to be celibate, the more I thought about sex. I can give myself self-satisfaction if I need to.
But I think I can be pretty sexual with myself, aka masturbation, watching porn.
These things that I was watching or these things that I was doing at a young age wasn't glorifying God. After I got saved, I still continued to watch this stuff. Someone loved me, a side of myself, and how disgusting I was.
At 11 years old, I began to masturbate. I started going to church.
Sincerely meaning this life that I was living with Christ, but just having this porn thing, I had then struggled with masturbation.
Well, I did it 2 days ago. And yes, women masturbate. If some say they don't, they're 100% lying.
You touch yourself when you watch it?
I mean, sometimes it depends.
How often do you masturbate?
Too often.
When you're in high school, you're on like turbo mode. At least 1,000 a year. You're a little bit busier in college, you're a little bit too drunk. You kind of want to bang other stuff, not your hand, get it? So I'd cut that number down to like half, maybe even a third. I was going circular.
Circular, like your teeth.
Yeah, or